Now, I have the privilege of introducing our first speaker, and I'm really excited to introduce him because he's a good friend of mine, somebody who's become a very good friend of mine. He's very important to me. He's in my corner, and in the world, when you find someone who's ahead of you in life, who's willing to reach a hand down and be able to support you and encourage you and help you, you latch on and you value that relationship. Most people, how many people have experienced getting kicked a little bit or getting ridiculed, or when people don't want to, a lot of times people don't want to see you get ahead. Well, this guy doesn't have to be here. Ray Montie has earned millions and millions of dollars in his business. He's going to earn millions and millions of dollars whether he's here or not. He doesn't have to be here. All I know is I'm grateful that he's here, he's sharing his time, and you all should be grateful. He's one of the top income earners in this company and in any company around the world in this industry. And he's a top leader that's earned all of the awards and accolades that Ambit Energy has. He's a good friend, national consultant. Please welcome him up to the stage, Mr. Ray Montie.
Getting up at 5:30 in the morning is not something that I'll ever get used to. But I want to thank all these guys and gals for putting this event on. It's fun to be here. I was looking at that winter training. I'm thinking, I remember last year, I think these guys did it on Valentine's Day. We're supposed to get a snowstorm, so it doesn't quite feel like winter out there, which is probably a good thing. But I am excited to be here. I'm excited because of what's going on with my company. I'm excited because of what's going on with Ambit. I've been in, this has been a good week for me. I was up in Maine and New England, the whole week, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, doing meetings basically every single night. And when you drive a lot, you have time to think and reflect. And this morning I was driving in from Pennsylvania, had about a 2.5-hour ride, and just thinking back to this time last year and 6 months ago, but also thinking back 19 years ago, because 19 years ago this week I got involved in network marketing for the first time. And for the first 11 years, I was with 2 companies, and to be honest with you, it was a struggle. It was trying to figure out what to do, what was I doing wrong, wrong company, wrong service, wrong leadership, you name it, I had it. And see, nobody ever told me, you're too late, or this company's not going to grow. You kind of figure that out as you go along. And normally, by the time you figure it out, it's too late. So to me, as a leader, one of the things that I think is important is, you need to know where you're at right now in Ambit. If you're brand new, guys, you don't have a whole lot of time to get going. You know, you can't come in and play around with this thing because you're in the sweet spot. Now, what I've realized about life and business is timing is everything. When you're in the sweet spot, you've got to take full advantage of it because you never know how long it's going to last, and you never know if it's going to come again. See, after 11 years in network marketing with 2 companies that failed me, wrong service, wrong upline, wrong product, wrong leadership, I didn't know if I'd ever get the chance to really go out there and be part of something special. And then Ambit came along. And one of the reasons I worked so hard is because in 11 years of being with the wrong place at the wrong time, when the right one came along, I was able to identify, this is it. This is it right now. I don't have time to kick back and relax. That'll come in the future. And guys, so I want to talk about Ambit today and where we're at. I want to talk about this promotion. This promotion's ended. Okay? I know people say, well, do you think they're going to, nope, they're not going to extend it. It's going to be over as of the 19th. And to me, it's $25. People ask me all the time, what's the catch with this company? What am I missing? The catch is it's almost impossible to get somebody committed to something that costs so little. Think about this. You're with one of the fastest growing companies in American business history with the service that everybody you know and I know uses, that's exploding, that's going into new markets, and it's $25. Seriously? It's $25. It's hard to get people committed to something that costs less than a family of 4 going to McDonald's. The reason people will see it different is the way that you present this business. See, this is a $25 million business to me. This is that one-in-a-lifetime opportunity that probably most of us will never see. I know I'll never see anything this good. Where else will pay me $8.5 million in 8 years by doing 2 things? Gathering a handful of loyal customers and just going out there and sharing the plan with people and sorting through the masses to find people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Think about what we've got our hands on right now. There's a reason I'm working harder now than I've ever worked before, because I understand timing, and hopefully when I'm done here in a couple minutes, you will see what I see. Guys, that's where I woke up yesterday morning. Thanks to Chris and Jerry and Ambit Energy, this is my second home up in Jackson, New Hampshire. And there's about 10 inches of snow up on Mount Washington. That's why you can't see it. Yesterday morning, I left this porch right here at about 9:30. Drove 420 miles back to Pennsylvania. I had to get back to my house up there. I haven't been there in a while because I've been spending so much time up there. 420 miles yesterday, unpacked, worked on the presentation, got up this morning, 148 miles to get here. I'm leaving here at 1 o'clock, 148 miles back to Pennsylvania. Back to Pennsylvania, then I got to drive to a Christmas party in upstate New York tonight, Little Falls, New York, 3.5 hours up there. Come back tomorrow morning, web training conference call tomorrow night. Monday, in-home one-on-one, in-home one-on-one. Tuesday, I'll be in Wayne, New Jersey. Wednesday night, I'll be in Waterbury, Connecticut. Thursday night, I'll be in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I'd rather be here. Why am I doing that? Because I understand the timing of what's going on right now. I understand it's not always going to be like this. That doesn't mean it'll be bad, but it's never going to be this good again. So I'm out there busting my butt. And I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same thing right now. The reason I understand what's going on is I just look at where this company's coming and where it's at right now. You know, what excites me is when I think about this. I got started this company. I'm going to go back one if that's okay. I know Jeff talked about the Yankees, and this is actually Fenway Park.
There we go.
And I am not a Red Sox fan, I'm a Mets fan, but since we're Rob Utter's a big baseball fan. He actually put this slide together. Guys, I started my Ambit business 8 years and 2 months ago, pretty much, give or take a couple days. And I remember, like most people, when I got started this thing, I didn't know. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. But what I did different than most people was I spent 8 months researching this company before I got started. I flew down to Texas on 2 separate occasions. Brian McCord paid for me to fly down and meet with Chris and Jerry. I met with them a 3rd time in New York City. So I had 3 visits with their co-founders before I got started. Now, you don't need to do that today because a lot of that information is available. But back then, there wasn't a whole lot to go for on Ambit. But what excites me is when I started October 7th, 2007, I remember the day before I signed up having a conversation with Chris and Jerry. And they told me that they were going to take this thing to $1 billion in revenue and 1 million customers and beyond. And I remember going home and thinking about this. Wow, if this happens, this is going to be pretty special. I'm going to be able to make a whole lot of money and help a whole lot of other people change their lives. And what excites me now is everything they said they were going to do, they did. So let's go back to 2007. We were a $30 million company in 2007. Look at where we're at today. We're on pace to do $1.7 billion. I mean, when I look at those numbers, what percentage of growth is that over the last 8 years? And when you think about where we're going in the future because we've added certain things, I mean, that's amazing. I go back and I think about then when we got started. We were in Texas and New York City. You know what our biggest challenge was in 2007? I remember me and Norbert Hennessy going into New York City and doing meetings. And we were ignorance on fire. We had no idea what we were doing, but we were fired up. We'd have 30 guests in there, and they'd all go to the computers and they'd be ready to sign up. And then all of a sudden, we'd start getting those dreaded questions. When's Connecticut going to open up? When's the Hudson Valley? When's Pennsylvania? When's New Jersey? When's all these markets? I don't know. Call us when they open up. Guys, see, there's always been challenges in Ambit. It's never going to be the perfect company. It's never going to be easy. But if you focus on the task at hand, you can make a whole lot of money. Now we're in 15 states. We know for a fact we're going to see more come next year. Chris has publicly stated a couple more next year. Why am I excited? Because I remember the days of New York City and Texas. And the fact that we're in all 15 states, every state in New England except for Vermont is pretty exciting to me. Then I look at the number of customers. Back then we had less than 100,000. Today we're about 1.3 million. I mean, do you guys see what I see? Because when I talk to somebody that says, well, I read this on the internet, you don't see it, that's okay. I'm not going to try to convince you. These numbers should speak volumes to what we're doing right now and what you have the opportunity to be part of if you do two simple things. Gather a handful of loyal customers. I've gathered 3 in the last 3 years. See, I don't spend all my time gathering customers. I've got what I need. I've got 34, 35 points. I spend most of my time locating and identifying motivated people. That's the biggest challenge we have. What's the biggest catch about this business? It's very difficult to find somebody who will commit to something that costs so little. You know what they need to commit to? Your passion, your excitement, your belief level. They're looking at you. It's not a money issue anymore at $25. They want to make sure that they're with the right company and with the right people. And guys, that starts with you, your belief level, your commitment level. And let's talk about where this company's getting ready to go. I mean, think about solar energy. The more and more I read about this, the more and more I realize how big this is going to be. I remember having conversations with individuals 8 years ago trying to figure out why Ambit wouldn't. And back then, why it wouldn't work for me was I came from a network marketing company that was in all 50 states, England, Canada, and Puerto Rico. How am I going to build it in 2 states? How is that going to happen? Well, we've done okay. The other thing we used to talk about is, well, what if solar energy replaces gas and electricity? It's nice to have people like Chris and Jerry who are a lot smarter than I am. Because that's no longer an issue. I was reading an article last week, they're talking about in the next 5 years, 1 in 5 households in the United States being on solar energy. Guys, this is a big, big deal. What excites me about this is, these are the states that we're in right now, but these are the states that Sunrun is licensed in. And if you're here in Connecticut, I'd be pretty excited. What excites me is, can you imagine, and I don't know if this is going to happen or when it's going to happen, but can you imagine if we open up Nevada, and Arizona, and South Carolina, and some of these other states that our Sunruns are in? See, what that does is it just builds back into Connecticut. Because there's people in Arizona right now who won't do Ambit because they can't be their own customer. If solar opens up there, that changes. And all of a sudden, people in Phoenix have family back in Hartford or Waterbury. And guys, you don't have a lot of time to get positioned for this. We know we're going to see expansion coming in solar. Do I know where? I wish I did. But I'd be real excited if I lived in Connecticut because that's one of the states they're licensed in, or Maryland, or Pennsylvania, or some of the states that we're already in, or New Hampshire. These things are going to happen, just like we're going to open up more states, just like they're going to be $1 billion company, just like they're going to have 1 million customers. This is where my focus is right now. Every single day that goes by, I've got to get more people registered. This is where your focus should be. I said on a conference call the other night, if you're in my business more than 90 days and you're not registered for this, don't call me. Because you're wasting your time and my time. See, I understand if you've got family and you've got to make a $1,000 commitment to go down to Dallas and you can't get off. I get all that. You can watch this from your house. If you're here for why you say you're here, to quit your job, to fire your boss, to make more money to donate to your family, whatever it is, why would you not be registered for this? Why? What am I missing? And I get so excited when I think about Chris making this statement. You know, I've got to know Chris pretty well, and him and Jerry are very conservative. I've never heard them make an announcement like this. I've never heard them compare one event to another. And the fact that he's saying that we're going to have bigger announcements at Simulcast 2016 than we did at Ambition 2015, that sends a message. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 56 days. How many people do you have on your team registered? See, here's what I know about the Simulcast. Last year, 10 days before Simulcast 2015, I was on the phone with Chris, and Chris talked about this $24.95 or waiving the $4.29. And he told me he was thinking about doing that. And when he told me that, I'd never heard that before. It was new to me. We never did that before. It was always $4.29. And so he told me, this is what we're thinking about doing. And I said, I know I can't announce that, but can I tell my team that one of the biggest announcements in the history of Ambit is going to happen? He said, sure. And we did a call 10 days before Simulcast last year. And I told my team, you need to get going. Let's go, let's go. And over the course of 10 days, we added 2,000 more registrants on our team. February was the biggest month I ever had in Avid Energy. It was a 28-day month. It doubled the prior biggest month I've ever had. See, the reason I'm telling you guys these things is I want you to be successful. I care about people. I care about this company. And there's certain things that leaders do that sometimes other people don't do. I think it's important as me as a leader of this company who loves Avid Energy, who owes a lot to this company, that I get up here and share with you, what do you need to do? You need to get people to simulcast. You need to tell people, listen, I get it if you're in 30 days and you're not, I get it. If you're in 60 days and you're, I get it. But if you're in 3 or 4 months and you've made $500, why would you not reinvest $50 back into this? And it's funny because people on my team will say, well, do you get a kickback for everybody you get registered? No. Actually, I do. Because when Avid becomes a $5 billion company, it's going to help my business too. And the fact that Chris Chambliss has publicly come out and stated that next year is our 10-year anniversary, and they want to do something real special for the field next year, what else do you need to hear? Guys, we are part of something that's incredible. And when you think about what they're going to announce at Simulcast 2016, it's going to be bigger. This is what they announced at Ambition 2015. Not bad. And then you throw in the fact that they announced the promotion that we currently have. The fact that there was a promotion for people who attended only at Ambition. Why would you not get registered? Guys, I am excited to be here. You've got some incredible leaders. I want to thank some of our speakers for coming up all the way up from Texas. It's going to be a great day. Don't take this lightly. Take advantage of the next 56 days. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I've never seen anything like this in 19 years in network marketing. This is as good as it gets. I want to thank you guys for having me up here. God bless you.
Awesome.